part of the UK.
Joining us from Airdrie is Pamela Nash, Chief Executive of Scotland in Union, a group challenging the independence agenda from the SNP. Pamela, lovely to have you with us. Does it help if Boris Johnson goes north of the border?
Well, look, there's much being said about that today, and we can see from the polls, it's no secret that the unpopularity of Boris Johnson in Scotland is contributing to the recent change in the polls. But any suggestion that the Prime Minister of the UK should not be here when we're in the midst of the COVID crisis to look at how his government's policies and the Scottish Government policies are responding to that is ridiculous. It would be abnormal if the Prime Minister wasn't going out in the country to hear from people directly.
Yeah, I have to say I do agree with you on that. I'm kind of wondering what would happen if Joe Biden was stopped from going to Texas. But that brings me to my thought, actually. We've been listening to Joe Biden in recent days talking about the need for unity. And I wonder if the whole independence debate does more to split Scotland than it does Scotland from England. Does it divide people there in Scotland? And is it becoming more poisonous?
Absolutely. Like, I was delighted to see Joe Biden elected personally. There was more than that reason that I had a tear in my eye listening to his inauguration speech, because it just rang so true to me and what we are facing in Scotland. We have our own uncivil war right here in Scotland. The wound that was cut open in 2014 has been left to fester because the debate is ongoing, and the SNP keep that debate going and have done for the last 7 years. And yes, the nationalism was designed to divide Scotland from England, but the reality is it's actually divided Scotland in two. I still know people who had fallouts with friends and family and colleagues back in 2014, and those wounds haven't yet healed.
But Pamela, what about the more recent wounds of 2016 and Brexit, where the majority of Scots voted to stay in the European Union and now the UK has left? So isn't there a real problem there that the will of the Scottish people was not recognised?
Well, look, we voted as a UK. We voted, first of all, to stay in the UK, then we voted as the UK to make that decision. But look, there are many people who are upset that we're not remaining in the EU, and I have to say that I'm one of them. But actually, the costs of rejoining the EU, if we were a separate Scotland, far outweigh any benefits of it. And the reality is we would be cutting off our nose to spite our face. The benefits of the UK outweigh the EU for us. To leave the UK and cause more division in order to go through a lengthy, expensive process to rejoin the EU with no guarantees just doesn't make sense.
But if the SNP win an outright majority in the Scottish elections this year, people know what they're voting for. Shouldn't they be entitled to an independence referendum?
Look, we're in the middle of the COVID crisis. This election is so important, and we always hear elections are the most important for a generation, but this one really feels like it is. We've got the healthcare crisis, the economic crisis. It is too important to allow this election just to be a referendum on a referendum. The SNP have been in government now for 14 years in Scotland. People aren't voting for them or against them just on one policy. They're voting for them on their governance of Scotland. And so a vote for SNP can't be taken as a vote automatically for independence or another referendum. And the fact that we've got an SNP government in Scotland at the moment who are focused fully on having another referendum, that's their number one priority, when it is not the priority of Scots, is just unbelievable.
Pamela Nash, thanks so much for joining.